Thanks for watching. Jack Fox here. Sorry if I'm talking a bit fast. I just want to get this over with because I technically want to end the series on a good note, but how the story is going, I probably think you guys might not like it or like it. Anyways, we should get going with this. So where we left off is where Deku has knocked himself out and he returned to his normal size. The people who were outside who saw the entire thing was the big three, Sir Night-Eye, several civilians, the child that he saved, Eri, and Monoma. Recovery Girl walked inside and saw the entire carnage at that moment. The people who were injured were telling Deku to get back here, and even All Might tried to attack him before he knocked himself out. They were gonna put him even in more restraints, but Recovery Girl said that he needs to be healed first, and if they try to put him in restraints while he's in the doctor's office, because that's what they're calling the nurse's office now, they shall be punished if they even lay a hand on him while he's recovering. But All Might said, Recovery Girl, look how much damage he's done to the people here. No, All Might, look what he's done to Class 1A, and you call those people heroes. As All Might was about to hit the old woman, hit Recovery Girl, I don't want to be rude, and he got him stopped by Mirio, telling him to back off, and that's not how a hero should act. As All Might said, move, young Mirio. No, if you're gonna treat people like that, you should be dethroned. I can't believe I looked up to you. As All Might's world technically shattered at that moment. Well, technically not, but started cracking. Because he wanted to be the hero of peace. But now what's happening caused his true colors to show. He was technically, in this would have, not in the actual anime, he was not in it for saving people, he was actually in it for the money and fame. Sorry if you hear background noises. Anyways, I'm gonna skip to the League of Villains. By now, Toga and the rest of the League of Villains and Overhaul and his minions have woken up. They had conversations with one another, and after a while, the heroes the previous people, the ones in Class 1A and everyone else, did show up and started harassing them, telling them to knock it off, and one guy finally found them and freed them from their restraints as much as they can each and every day. Toga is getting happier and happier. Her restraints are getting released because then she could go see Deku. That's her one thing that she wants to see. The rest are happy that they're finally gonna be released until the guy finally busts down the door with all the rest of the civilians and breaking them out with their quirks. The League of Villains are finally free, they're happy, and Toga asks where's Deku, and then Monoma shows up a couple minutes later after she tried to talk to the rest of the people, but they continuously remained silent. When Overhaul asked about Eri, they told him how Eri was doing. She asked Monoma the same question, where is Deku, where is he? And Monoma reveals everything, how the heroes in Class 1A have been mistreating him, how he was been beaten every single day since what I told the truth, and how he finally broke out, but he's not who he used to be. He's different now, as people could say. But don't worry, the heroes in questioning have been dethroned and a lot more stuff. But the thing I forgot to mention again, which I continuously screw up, when Deku was looking down, he saw someone he might remember, but he couldn't figure out who. He knows it's a woman, but he can't figure out who. And the thing that she's holding in her hand is familiar to him. And then he blacks out because he hit himself over the head with a baseball bat. Anyways, I'm gonna skip a few months later, cause Deku is taking his the regeneration thing seriously, cause right now his bones have been fractured in several places. Several bones has been broken, and they're doing tests on Deku to get the infection out of his blood system, and also finding where is the rat in hiding, and they could get rid of it, and and a lot more other stuff. The League of Villains and Overhaul do talk to Monoma, and Monoma does tell them where Midoriya is in the doctor's office, which was previously the nurse's office. And Monoma did tell how the reason why they did that to Deku is how he was acting around Toga. And Toga asked, "What do you mean by that?" And Monoma did explain even more how one of the girls in class 1A did fall in love with Midoriya, but since he fell in love with Toga, that one became jealous and decides to take out Toga in a way that makes Deku love them more. But since that fell, since you're clearly alive, as well as the others, which means that they failed on shooting you correctly. They were probably aiming for your heart, but then missed while you were falling down with Midoriya, causing you guys to black out by getting shot in the wrong place. And that girl in question was Uraraka Ochako, this young woman's daughter. As he points to Uraraka's mom, and she does apologize to the League of Villains and overhaul how her daughter has acted towards them, and a lot more other stuff. And she does say, "I am sad that my daughter is gone, but I hope she gets the punishment that she deserves." As Toga asks, "What do you mean by gone?" And the mother explained how Deku completely torn the entire place apart while he snapped. As they walked together and all the civilians walked into the room where it happened, blood and carnage in the room where Midoriya was locked in. The remains of the UA bodies of Class 1A students were there. All the other people who were badly injured got their bones kind of repaired, but were warned that if they try to use their quirks, their bones will not be able to support them and shatter even more, because of the way how Deku has hit them in a certain portion, which means Bakugo, if he tries to let out a massive explosion, both of his arms will no longer be able to be used. Todoroki, if he tries to eat anything that is cold, his stomach will basically rip itself open because of the stitching mainly needs hot stuff that, needs. And all the other people who are badly injured needs to take it slow about their quirks while they all see Deku being healed. Bakugo is pissed because of Deku breaking his bones, and now he's no longer to use a massive explosion, and if he tries, his arms will have to be amputated off, which means he'll be known as a quirkless person, which he doesn't want to happen. So that means he has to use small explosions for the sense of time that his bones have to be healing. As Deku woken up a few months later, as Toga does tackle him down, squeezing him and telling him how he's a stupid idiot and how he could have gotten killed if he wasn't careful. It took Deku a hot minute to realize who she was. He was stunned and couldn't breathe, so his mind was going all loopy. It literally took Deku a hot minute just to remember his girlfriend because of his blacking out and the way he hit his head. He hit the memory portion of his brain, which means Deku has lost a portion of his memory. Which means Deku has forgotten who she technically is. He knows that she was part of his life, but doesn't know her name or her quirk or anything about her. He just knows that she was part of the LOV, and that's it. As he tries to attack her, and then the other League of Villains tell him what's happening, and as well as Recovery Girl could explain why he was trying to attack his own girlfriend, which is because of memory loss. Deku has lost a portion of his memory. She explained to the League of Villains and Overhaul. And Toga is trying to remind Deku on what's happening, who she is, what she can do, and all the other stuff. As Deku said, the only thing I can remember last was a woman standing in the front yard of UA. As Recovery Girl tried to ask the description of this woman, Deku said the only thing I could remember was something in her hand as well as her hairstyle. And what was the thing in her hand? It looked like a plushie of some sort. It looked like a head of a plushie, which was strange to me because the thing that was remaining seemed to be stitched on. Or there was a body, but I couldn't see it. I don't know. The thing about the woman's hair, she had like a dark colored hairstyle put up into a ponytail while the rest of her hair, some of her hair put up into a ponytail while the rest of her hair falls down close to shoulder length. As Recovery Girl said, how do you see that well? I only know from the infection that happened to me. That's how long. That's all I know. As Deku was discharged while the other people were trapped into the police's, technically a police doctor emporium. The heroes in questioning were no longer technically there. They were locked in a room. The same room where Deku was locked, put into court canceling cuffs and placed in there for further questioning as they were chained. The bodies have been removed and buried. The mothers of Uraraka and Todoroki's still alive. Todoroki's mother is very disappointed in her son, and tells Todoroki that he has become something that he feared. He has become like his father. As Todoroki's life just became awakened at that moment. Like, yeah, you basically became your father for an entire month. Weeks. While Uraraka was basically not visited by anybody except her mom only once a week. Given flowers on her funeral bed and all the other students as well. Okay guys, I think this is enough. I'm gonna leave you guys on a cliffhanger on who the woman is.